Hi friends, how are you? This is Alicia and I'm coming to you live from the Shard Sign Shack. As you're hopping on, please say hello. Let me know you're there. Please let me know whether you're joining me live or on replay. Just getting my secondary device up here and running. Today we are going to be stenciling a noodle board. And a noodle board, I've had a lot of people ask me, if you don't know, is a decorative stove cover. And I guess like maybe back in the old days, they used to use it to make noodles upon. So this is the stencil. Hi Pamela, hi Renee, hi Barbara, that we're going to be using today. This kitchen is seasoned with love. It's really great to see you too, Pamela. Hello, Linda from Rainy. We're rainy here today too. Hi, Renee. It's actually pretty warm. It's 49 degrees for February in Ohio. It's really great. Hi, Donna. Oh, eating lunch. Yeah, it's getting close to dinner time here. I think you're on Mountain Time, maybe. Mountain Time or Pacific Time. I'm not sure. So, hi, Cindy. How are you? Let me flip those off and flip the comments down here. Okay, so anyhow, I made this stencil board. I did not make a video of making it. Number one, because I was at work, and really what I did was I told my husband what I needed, and we went shopping for the wood. Hello, Paula. And he made it for me while I was gone. So it's really, really simple to make a noodle board. Oh, thank you, Renee. Hi, Deb. Oh, the cardinal, is that the one I'm always with you? One. Oh, thank you, Cindy. Thank you. Hi, Judy. Oh, thanks, Judy. Yeah, everybody say hello to April as you hop on. She's the owner of the Stencil Smith, and she always joins and helps me answer questions. So, you shopped for wood this morning. Hello, April. There's April. There she is. So if you have not done this, I would really, really appreciate you doing this. It helps put me out there. It helps me grow. It helps the Stencil Smith grow. And that is our goal as crafters and as a business owner. So again, we're going to be stenciling this stencil. It's going to be on sale today and tomorrow for 20% off. And you can save another 15% off with my code Sign Shack. I'm sorry if I paused. I was thinking 15 heads or steps ahead of what I had to do today. So we're going to be doing this. It's really big. So this is to cover a stovetop. So what I did, and if you Google it, hi Jarita. I hope I said that correctly. You got your order on Friday. I know I just got a whole big box of them. I'm so excited. I was crafting before. So this is a noodle board right here. It's very big. I don't even know if I can get it in the camera. So what it is it is 4 1x6s. And they're cut 29.5 inches long. Okay? So I did not put the handles on ahead of time. And I'll show you the reason why, because I'm going to angle you down here a little bit. These are the handles I made. So it's really simple. Just cut your 1x4s. I may have to go up a little bit to get a better angle. Cut your 1x4s 29.5 inches long and glue them together with wood glue. I use no nails, no plugs, nothing like that, and clamp them. I had to actually go out and buy new clamps for this. I have wood clamps, but they weren't nearly big enough. And let me tell you, wood clamps are very, at least the ones that at Home Depot were very expensive. I was a little shocked at how much they were. And I needed 2 of them. So I stained this in the Valspar Antiquing Glaze, which is an antiquing glaze, but it's water-based and you can use it as a stain. I love this stuff. I'm almost out of it. I got to go to Lowe's and get more. So the handles are going to be on 1x4s, and I cut those 22 inches long, and I already put the handles on just because I wanted it done beforehand because I am going to personalize this. So I wanted to show you how to personalize a board. And basically what I did was I measured halfway in. I lined the boards up, so they were even. I measured halfway up and in and drew a little dot, and then placed the handles before I drilled the holes. And then just drilled the holes and put the handles on. So these are going to go on later on your noodle board, but I did not put it on first. Oh my goodness. I don't know what I did with my stencil. Can you believe that? There it is. I don't have very much room here on this table. I'm looking into getting a bigger one, but everything that is adjustable is not as wide, but it's longer. But so this stencil, to stencil it on the way I want it, if you can see, if I went ahead and nailed these ahead of time, it's going to be raised and it's going to make it harder to stencil. Hello, Cindy. How are you? Thank you, April. Yeah, I love, love, love. I use this a lot, and it's just really nice, and it's a really nice antiquing glaze as well. So yes, so if you put these handles on, you would have a harder time stenciling this. So I'm going to do that after we stencil it. So I'm going to take these off, and again, these are just 1x4s, cut 22 inches long, and that fits a standard size stove. I Googled it, and then I measured my stove, and Google was correct. I have just a general a GE stove with a flat top. So I'm going to set my little handles aside. I didn't stain the back sides because there's no reason to waste that stain because you're going to be nailing it down. So I'm going to set those handles aside, and I am going to turn this stencil around like this. And I do want to, I'm not going to center this because I'm going to be adding some personalization. That's one thing I wanted to touch upon today. I don't know that I've showed you personalization yet and how it's pretty easy. Now the personalization I'm not going to be doing upside down because I am not that talented. But I always put mine on a template to see where it would look. I work it out beforehand. So otherwise, if you didn't want to do a personalization, I don't know if you can see that, the light. So I did this ahead of time. I'm going to move this up, and I'm going to do the personalization with these letters here from the Stencil Smith, which they are not on sale today, but you can order them. They're really pretty. I used them on the This Is Us personalization one that I did. So this Season with Love, the one I'm using today is number 6425, and it's a large. That is on sale today, 20% off. This is number, and it's a uppercase and lowercase. This is not on sale. This is just something I decided at the last minute to add on. It's number 284, and these are the 2-inch. I have a couple sets of these, and I'm using this one because I thought the font, the size of the font went bigger with it, or better with it, if that makes sense. So that's what I want to do, and I'm going to come around here to the side because I want to take a look at this. I got this upside down and see about where I want it. I'm not going to put like established, but you could always add to established what year the family was established underneath. I'm not doing that to this one, but that's another idea. Okay, so I think I'm going to stencil it right about there. So I hope everybody's having a great day today. Hello, Rhonda. Did I cut the... No, I did not cut the letters into the strips. These are from the Stencil Smith. This is a whole set. I've got I think the 1.5 inch, and these are the 2-inch, and they have several different scripts. And now the size of the letter, friends, they are not always, like, one of the biggest one might be 2 inches, but maybe one of the smaller ones is not 2. But they're generally 2-inch, like a 2-inch letters. They're really, really nice. Yeah, so they come in strips like this. And I have one that's really big that actually for storage steak, I cut with a cutter, like, in half just to keep them stored better. But this is a really pretty font, and you can do a lot of personalization with it, and it's not that hard once you get the hang of it. I I started doing it a long time ago and I just keep doing it. You like the strips also? Yeah, they're very nice. I really like them. So, is everybody having a good day today? I am having a very good day. I'm thinking about all the stuff I have to do though. We've been putting everything on hold because we've been doing our kitchen floors, and I just want to measure to see that it's kind of equally the same. Yep, I eyeballed it, but because I'm putting handles on and stuff, I'm going to bring this over just a little bit, and I'm going to tape this down. Chilly, Southwest Michigan. Oh yeah, it's 49 here. I mean, I got a little chilly in the garage. I got hot, and then I got chilly. I had to turn the heat on. I had to turn it off. And but it's, I mean, for February in Ohio, it's been crazy. We're going to get some 50s. I think a 50 on Thursday. And then we're going to get a couple days in the 50s the following week. So it's very nice. Oh, thank you, Judy. Yeah, we've been working really, really hard on our new floors. And you don't realize how old you are until you start to put down floors by yourself. And you realize how old your knees are and your hands. I'm finally healing a little bit. I had from hitting it with the hammers. I've got a blister from the nail gun because our floors, you're constantly getting hot, cold, hot, cold. 53. Oh, and Nashport, yeah. Rhonda's in Ohio too, but she's south of me. So, okay. So I use a toothpick. This is the color I'm using. I use Fusion Mineral Paint. It's what I choose to use. I'm a big believer in use what you have, use what you want, but a water-based paint is what you want to use for stenciling. So this is raw silk, and this is an off-white. It's not a true white, but I thought it would look really pretty with this brown. So I'm just going to give it a shake and squirt a little bit out on the table. Or not on the table, that would be bad. I say things I don't mean, friends. I don't know if you've noticed that before. I know my husband was watching something not too long ago, and he's like, do you realize you said this? I'm like, nope, I did not. So if you're new to stenciling, you want to get your brush loaded with paint. And if you're not, I apologize for going over this, but there's always someone new. And then you want to offload. That's really the key. And these are, somebody asked last week, these are Dynasty brushes, and they are from, I got them from the Brush Guy. This is a 5/8. You get corrected all the time. My husband bought me a shelf. Oh, okay, Sherry. Okay, so I've offloaded and I'm just going to start swirling. I'm a swirler. You can use wedges. Some people do the pouncing, which in some instances, if like there's fabric that moves or something underneath, pouncing would be good, or a wedge might be better, but I'm a swirler. I find it very relaxing, therapeutic. I love it. It really does relax me. 43 in Southeast. You know what my, oh, thank you, Lois. You know what my fear is about this mild winter we're having? And it has been mild in Ohio. Is that, although it was really cold on Friday and I had to work, and that was horrible because we only have like a wood stove in the back. So I think it was only like 45 or something in the apple orchard store that I work for. And I'm like, the one day, because it's been above average almost every other day, but I'm afraid that we're going to end up paying for it in spring. You know, I feel like spring is almost in the air. It smells like it some days. You can hear the birds chirping. Even they're like, hey, this is kind of nice. I do not have a gas stove, Donna. I have a flat top stove. For gas, ones, I would imagine it would work as well, where you could just set it. And I've seen it where they set it like upside down on them. Oh, okay, so Paula says she uses her noodle board with her gas stove. Yeah, mine is a glass top, the flat top one, and this worked perfectly. Like I said, it was 20, and your stove might be different, or who you're making it for may be different. So you might want to measure ahead of time, get the measurements definitely. But for me, what worked was 29.5 wide by 20, or I guess this would be the width and the length, 22, but 29.5 by 22. You're only 40 today? You're usually warmer than me, Cindy. That must be coming our way, I'm not sure. But yeah, they started tapping the trees here. We have a maple festival, and that's always like the first sign of spring, because it has to be warm enough in the day for the sap to run, but then it has to be cold enough at night, and the trees cannot bud. If the trees bud, you're done. So we're a big maple community. It's kind of what we're known for. Our maple festival, we actually had years and years ago, there's pictures of JFK and Jackie came here, and they were in our parade. Maybe, yeah, you could do that. But somebody said, okay, Cindy, it was somebody back here. If you go back in the comments, might have been Paula, said that they have it on their gas stove and that it works fine. This one I'm making for my daughter. She's been wanting one for a while. So that is why the personalization. She gets really lucky. Let me tell you, I make something, and if I don't sell it, because I don't do craft shows, I have not ventured into that. I know a lot of you do. It just seems like, oh, hi, Melissa. How are you? Nice to see you. Your trees are budding. Wow. Yeah, our trees hopefully aren't going to bud for a while. That would be bad, because I know we're going to get cold weather again. Although, like I said, it's been nice. Okay, let me get my heat gun. I don't think it's plugged in all the way. Girls, okay, there we go. This is so much bigger, and I'm just going to pull this up. And I'm going to give it a quick little dry. You want to do thin coats. Even if you have to do 2 coats, 3 coats, it's better than bleeding all over the place, because that's what happens when you have too much paint. Yeah, I've seen somebody post on Facebook, I think it was this morning or yesterday, that and they had a picture and there were daffodils, and I was like, holy cow, you have daffodils already? Because like I said, I'm in Northeast Ohio, so that's not going to happen for a while. Okay, so yeah, April says she's seen people make them more so to cover their gas burners. But they are a very, very popular item. I was looking on, I think it was on Etsy, when I was Googling noodle boards to try to figure out how to make one, because this is my first one. So it's all new to me, but I like to learn new things. But you have to build up the bottom. Oh, okay. So Pamela says you have to build up the bottom a little bit to compensate for the burners, and that does make sense. So again, I have gotten more paint, and I've offloaded, and I'm swirling on my second coat. But I thought we would touch on this, and we would touch on some personalization. If you haven't, how many of you have ever personalized with like individual letter stencils? Because I do get a lot of custom orders, and it calls for that. Oh, hi, Dominica. How are you? It seemed like the standard size. Yeah, I know. I worried about that. My husband was really paranoid. When we were making this, he's like, oh my gosh, that's a fire hazard. And he was like, you're not going to sell these, are you? What if you sell it to somebody and, they burn their house down or something like that? And I assured them I don't think I'm going to be selling them, but they will make really, really nice gifts. Turn your yeah. Oh, thank you, Dominica. Yeah, I'm gonna try that. I'm gonna not try that, but I am gonna do that today, Donna, to show you a little bit of how I personalize items. I get a lot of requests, like especially around Christmas or anniversaries. The one I did just recently, I don't know if you saw the picture for it, but it was This Is Us. And the girl was tickled to death with it. And then I personalized it with the family's name underneath with like little hearts in between. And they just loved it. She said it's on her fireplace mantle. That's always nice when you see your customers where they display it or they're so happy and they tell you. It's a really, really nice feeling. And that's another thing, because I've had some people contact me. So if you're stenciling, if you haven't already delved into doing craft shows, you can do to make money. You can do, I'm going to try, I think, around the holidays, like maybe November, something like that. I'm going to have an open house. And it'll be open to any of my, friends and followers that want to come and maybe serve like cookies and stuff like that and have all my... Oh, look at that. Linda said these sell great at craft shows. I haven't done craft shows. And I've had people ask me to make a noodle board before, but I just haven't. And if you haven't looked today, I did post a link in my previous post about the live, but April posted a bunch of new kitchen designs. Oh my goodness, they're so cute. One's about being hangry, calories. Maybe you could post a link to those in the live. April, the new ones, the kitchen ones, but they are so cute. They work good for gas. Yeah, I'll take a picture after the live. Ooh, I didn't offload that one. Good enough. See, I get talking. Everybody messes up, friends. It is bound to happen if you craft long enough. But this still isn't as bad as I've been a knitter for quite a while. And let me tell you, knitting, boy, you drop a stitch or something like that, you got to knit backwards, and that's a whole thing. They call it tinking, which is actually just knit backwards, which is kind of cute. I haven't been doing a whole lot lately because I've been so busy with work and with my dad and with doing lives for the Stencil Smith. But yeah, you should have seen my husband's face. I had told him, but I don't think he was really listening to me, that we had to build a noodle board. You call it frogging. Okay, yeah, I've heard that term before too. Pamela does 4 shows a year and it's hard work. I bet it is. Sandpaper's a good friend. Yeah, so you could do craft shows. Some people get booths, I know. April just posted a link in the comments for all the kitchen theme ones. And there's some cute, I'm going to show you after the live some of the stencils I ordered last week. And I got them in like 2 days. If that, I think it was like 2 days because April just cuts them and ships them so quickly. It's unbelievable. But I did some towels, a couple towels and stuff. I've been working on more because I feel like those would be real. I don't know. I love them. Like now I'm hooked on towels. I feel like they would be really good gifts to have on hand. Oh, Paula, good luck to you. In the spring. So spring is not the best time. I would imagine most craft shows that would be good would be like the fall ones and the Christmas ones. I know here we have a fall one in my town of Chardon. It's called Harvest Handmade or something like that. And it draws a lot of people. And then they have a mistletoe market at Christmas. And then the place that I work for, Sage's Apples, they have another U-Pick farm. And I've thought about crafting for it because they do really well there. The people that participate typically sell out of everything and have had it. The first one they had, they actually had to go home and make stuff that night. They had ran out of so much stuff. They had nothing left. But you have to enter it and stuff like that. It's called the Holiday Market, and it's kind of like an old-fashioned holiday market, but there's all kinds of ways to make money with your crafting. You can sell them on Marketplace, which is how I started, and I sold right away on Marketplace. I haven't done that in a while because after I built my business page, I started building followers and friends, and I have enough orders that I keep steady busy as I want to be right now. I think this is just really pretty. But yeah, there was some really cute kitchen ones she released today. Spring is iffy. Yeah, this neck of the woods, because Pamela's in Michigan and Rhonda's in Ohio. You do yours outside. Ooh, I wouldn't like that. Not in Michigan. Cindy loves how quickly her order came, which it does. If you've ordered from the Stencil Smith, you're amazed at how quickly it comes. And it's wrapped with such love in that little buffalo check tissue paper. Yes, you cannot believe how fast the shipping is. You are right, Judy. I'm amazed. I order it. I swear I no sooner order it and like an hour later, and this may not be typical, or it seems like an hour later, I'm already getting a notification from shop that my order is ready to ship. It's unbelievable how quick it is. But April and Pete are really on top of their stuff. They're a husband and wife team and business owners. And they've been in business, I believe, since 2006. Is that correct, April? I thought you had told me that, or I had read. They've been around a very long time. And they're made in America. They do everything right here in my home state of Ohio. Okay, so everything is made in the USA. I save my paper too. I want a decoupage with them. Oh, I think that's really pretty. What do you think, friends? Do you like that? Yep. April says they've been around since 2006. So I'm just going to do the 2 layers. So this kitchen, look how pretty that is. And it looks really pretty on this. I didn't want to do a stark white. This is like an off-white. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn it around because I have to have this facing me, unfortunately, to stencil the name, because I am not that good, because it involves measuring and lining up and stuff. And another thing when you're doing, thank you so much, when you're doing anything like this, any kind of custom lettering, it's always better to stand over it. You can see the alignment, and if it's straight. I learned that the hard way, so I'm just passing that along, even with anything, because if you're looking at it sitting down or from an angle, you should be over top of it straight. But let me just get my little template. So this is what I do. Oh, you're welcome, Lisa. This, I made a template. Okay, they're getting the light good. So this is for my daughter. Their last name is Doyle, so the Doyle family. So I just get a piece of paper and I make my template ahead of time. And usually what I do is, like, the spacing between words it's real simple. I use my finger. I just put my finger between it. So I like my template because then I can see not only where I wanted to position this, but where I want to position this as well, the name. And I'm going to get my letters here. So they, like I said, they've got an uppercase and a lowercase. And I'm going to put my first letter on, which will be the, And I want to make sure, just eyeballing it, that it's kind of centered. This is how I do it. Now I know some people do it by, like they go from the center and they go out. That does not work for me as well. I like doing, the template. That works really well for me. So again, they come in strips, so I'm going to start with the capital. Yes, I save my templates. You are correct, Judy. That is another hint. Yes, it's a beautiful stencil. It is, save these, because I may do something in, the future for my daughter, and I would want to use this template again. Well, it's already made, so you wouldn't have to make it over. So again, I just eyeball it. It's better if you're straight overhead. This is what I use to wipe my letters off with, is a microfiber cloth. If I need to, if I'm going to use it again, I'll wipe them off with this. Rather than a wipe, because the wipes get full of paint, if that makes sense. Like a Clorox wipe, you can wipe the paint off, but it gets full of paint, which I don't think. The E I'm going to use again. And I think that's about it, the E and the Y. And I like to have them clear so I can see through. So what I do with my, see, I got talking here and I don't know what I did with my T, LMNOP. Where in the world did I put it? There it is, okay. So I'm gonna use my T and I'm gonna start off, and what I'm gonna do is, after I've got my template down, this is what I do. This is not for everybody. I just plop that letter down and pull the template out. And then if you have a little piece of tape, it's always nice. Keeps it from shifting. And these letters are far enough apart that you really don't have to like tape the letters or anything like that. And I'm just using the same brush. I'm so thrilled, friends, that this is going to be a one brush day. There's nothing better than a one brush day, if you know what I mean. Make sure, yeah, it's on the camera, okay. And I'm just going to give this a little swirl here. I hope I didn't have too much paint on and bled, because I feel like that went on really thick. And I am going to lift this up. It did not. Phew. I'm going to give it a quick, that was actually dark enough. So I'm just going to give it a quick dry, because you don't want to be putting your stencils down. So when you go to do your next letter, you don't want to move on and have wet paint and put your stencil down over top of the letter, because you'll smear the paint as you go on. So I'm not even going to worry about cleaning that, because I'm not going to be using the T again. So what you can do is you can use a ruler. This is what I do. So I have this metal ruler here. You can use, I better move this down so you can see. Go to the edge of your project. I got these chalk pencils. They're General's pastel chalk. I use these a lot. I got them on Amazon. I think they came in a 2-pack. I've had them for a long time. But I line either my stencil or my ruler, whatever I have, at the end, because this is cut square. And I'm going to go in, I don't want to draw the line all the way across, because that's just more to erase. And you want to go down just a bit, because if you go right up on the letter, your line is going to be over the letter, because you got to allow for the chalk. And I might want to come up just a titch. And I do that so I can have a nice straight line going across. There we go. And that keeps your letters in line. Let me use my ruler. And this is how I keep my letters. And don't press down real hard, because if you do, you'll put, because it's pointy, you'll put an indentation in the wood, and that's never good. So we're going to do the H, and so this is the, and I just line it up. It probably is hard for you to see where my chalk line, but I'm lining it up where my chalk is. And again, I'm just going to get a little more paint and offload and just give it a swirl. I'm going to lift it straight up and give it a dry, because again, you don't want to put your stencil back down on wet paint. That's never good. And then I'm going to do the E. I'm not going to worry about this guy because I'm not using the H again. So I got both my sets here. So here's the lowercase, the E. I'm going to be using that. And you just line it up above, right above your chalk mark. And it's so much easier when you're looking directly above this. And I mean, there have been times I've messed up. A wet wipe takes it off pretty good. With stain, it's a little trickier. Sometimes when you use a wet wipe with stain, you take the stain up. But you can always add a little bit more stain. So we've got the. So that went pretty quickly. It wasn't overly complicated or anything like that. Just giving it another quick little dry. And I am going to use my microfiber cloth here, and I just use it and I dab it and it wipes those, oops, going the wrong way, those letters right off. And you want to make sure you get the back too, because I am going to have to use the E again. But this works a lot better, and you just wring them out and wash them, than a wet wipe, because a wet wipe fills up with paint. And I don't want to, usually I take my apron and I dry it on my apron, but this is my really nice Stencil Smith apron, and I don't want to get paint on it. Oh, thank you, Cindy. Oh, I do too. That's the different sizes. That's something I was going to touch on when we got done. I wanted to show you a couple things. So again, I take my template and I just take a peek and see how I'm doing. And I do want my D about right there. And again, I just go a finger about down. So I've got my uppercase. So I'm going to get my D and I just place it over it. And you can move it around, but it just gives you a general idea. And again, my placement is usually my index finger. That's what I use to separate my words and to keep it kind of consistent. And this one, I want to move up a little bit. And I think I'll just move it over just a titch. Okay, so we're going to do the D. So I think I asked before, I don't know if I saw any answers, but does anybody, oh, hi Becca, how are you? Does anybody do much personalization? Now, I'm not going to lie, I bought a Cricut about 3 years ago just for that reason. I was going to try to do the personalization with that. I could not figure that thing out, so I sold it right away. And I was lucky that it was during like 2020, I think it was 2020. So there was a shortage of everything and nobody could get Cricuts, so I sold it for the very price that I got it for. Yes, Renee does lots of personalization at her page on Flip Flop Furnishings. She makes some beautiful, beautiful pieces. So I'm not going to use my D again. I'm just going to put that over there. So I want my little lowercase o. And again, it's the same thing. I'm just going over and lining it up on that chalk line and giving it a swirl. And I'm gonna give it a little shot of hot air here. Okay, it's still lined up. My biggest fear is I do this live and then I'm like, it's all crooked. You would print the names on your, oh, that's clever. She prints the names and traces them. That's a really good idea. I've never thought to do that. So D-O, and I need the Y here. So the lowercase y, I'm gonna use now. And the Y's funny. You wanna line it up. You don't put it like right where the point is at. You wanna bring it up just a little bit. So it's kind of in line with the other lowercase letters. If you brought the point down to your chalk line, it wouldn't, it would be way lower than your other lowercase letters. So you don't want to do that. And I'm going to do the Y. See, this isn't taking too long, and you got lots of little options here. Like I said, underneath you could do the year the family was established. And I'm going to give that a quick little dry. And then you just simply erase your chalk line when you're done. So the Doyle, thank goodness it's not a real long name, right? That's a great idea. I've never done that. I've always used the stencils to do the personalization. But that's a wonderful idea. I may try it. But these are really, really nice sets. And I'm sure if you're watching, you know that I use the 10 mil Mylar is what I like. So I want the L, so I'm going to use the lowercase l. And it's the same thing. I'm going to just, I eyeball it and get right above that chalk line. I want to make sure it's straight. And I'm going to put my little piece of flashing right here. Just because this L is so high, I don't want to go into the wood above. So we're getting the L. Flashing makes really great, quick little option instead of grabbing tape all the time. Works really well. So we're going to do the Doyle, and I'm going to do another E, which I believe is down here. Nope. There it is. My sister just joined us. She's like, I remembered. She's always getting off work like right about when I go live, and she's always like, I'm so sorry. I forgot to join, so she remembered today. Sometimes she even puts it on when she's coming home from work, I believe. My sister Heather, she's my crafting sister. We have so much fun together. Sometimes we just get together. Hello, Michelle, how are you? And we've had weekends where we've just got together and crafted. And it's just fun. You get sucked into it. Oh, see, Heather's in the car now. She's probably coming home from work. She just started a job as a librarian. She is the school librarian at an elementary school in, I think it's Beaver Creek, Ohio, that school system, down by Dayton. So we've got the Doyle, and we're going to do family. And we're pretty on, so I'm going to get my F, my uppercase. I'm going to switch to uppercase again. And put it on that chalk line. And again, I want to use my finger. Just make sure it's about a finger, and use the same finger. So you're not using different fingers because they're all different sizes, right? Oh, that's nice, Sherry. Is your sister Is she close? Unfortunately, my sister's 3 hours, 3 and some change away from me, so it's not easy for us to craft together, and then with our schedules, it's even harder. I don't know, you might follow her page. She has sawdust dogs. Thank you so much, Becca. Becca sprinkled me. So again, if you haven't done this, I would super appreciate it. Next week, I'm going to have a drawing with some new stencils to give away. I do one every month, but I always appreciate the shares, even on days that we aren't doing a giveaway. Let's see, family. Where's my A? There's my A. So I'm going to get the A there and just line it up on the chalk and just give it a little swirl. And I haven't even dipped my paint back in the brush for probably the past 5 or 6 letters. I should just get a piece of tape and lift that up. That would be far easier. So the A, and again, like I said, you want to dry all your letters in between, just because you don't want to set your plastic down on wet letters. So get my M. Getting close, girls. We can put our handles on, and I wanted to show you some stuff I was up to today with some of the new stencils from last week, since we're kind of been in a kitchen mode the last couple lives. We did the towels last week, and then this week we're doing the noodle board. What are we doing next week? I think we're doing some really cute library ones. It's going to be super fun. I love to read. I don't know, does anybody else like to read out there? So the M and the I need now. Let's see here. Maybe down here. Nope. Okay, where's my I? Those are all uppercase. Oh, there it is. Family. I made one that I hand lettered. There is this. I need to extend my chalk line just a bit. There's this singer in Ohio. If you're from Ohio, his name is Michael Stanley, and he had the Michael Stanley Band. He was very popular in Northeast Ohio. And I made this one sign that I really regretted making, and it was all hand lettered because I sold a bunch of them. Like, I couldn't keep up, but it was thank God for the man who puts the white lines on the highway, and that was from one of his songs. You're running out of room. Oh, you have a noodle board that's just been sitting. Well, this is a perfect stencil for it, Deb. And there's many others. This is the large. And this is on sale today for 20% off. And with my code, you save an additional 15%. My code is SignShack. And so you could get this for relatively inexpensive. And the great thing about the Stencil Smith too is you only need $35 to get free shipping, which I think is quite a deal. So I need the L. Oh, I did not clean my L off. Family. That's why I like to clean my letters off, because when you go to line it up, I'm going to just wipe the bottom off here. When you go, it's going to be harder because it's caked on. When you go to line and you want to find like your chalk line, it's hard to see when there's paint all caked on it. So I like to, because I know there's some people, they don't ever clean their stencils, or I mean, I see them do lives and I just can't, I can't do that. And one of the reasons would be because I like to be able to see what I'm doing. And again, I'm going to grab my little piece of flashing here and just put it over the L because it goes so far up and it won't get on the board. I think I'm still in the camera. This is such a big piece. Yep, family. So I'm going to do the Y. So this is going to be our last letter, and that didn't take very long at all, really. And the Y again is funny, like I told you, so you want to line it up with the other letters. Not where the little V is on the Y. Okay. And I don't think I dried my L. So we are done with our lettering. So that's how quick that was. Of course, if you're new to it, it takes a little bit longer. So the chalk line gives you an awesome guide. I'm just going to give it a quick little dry here and erase my chalk line. And again, every live I have been kind of showing you how I close my bridges. And I'll just do just a couple here real quick. So if you're new, you'll see I won't do the whole thing on camera. And then if you want to stick around for just a couple minutes, I have a couple things to show you that are super cute that I worked on today. So when I'm closing my bridges, okay, so say like right here with the heart, I get the paint I'm working with and I get it on my brush, and this is an Arteza. Unfortunately, you can only buy it in a set. It's a rigger. It's called a rigger. And this is my favorite brush, one of my favorite in the whole world. And then I offload it. And then I just take, and whites can be more difficult to cover than like say a black or something like that. So you might need a couple different coats. But I just fill that area where the bridges were at to make it look, it makes it look like it's not quite as, it's not as stenciled. Sometimes I get too much paint, sometimes I don't get enough. And you just fill in, I'm just not getting enough, period. But I don't want to get too much, and I offload that almost, like I do the brush, but not like as drastically. Because I would rather have not enough paint and go back. And another trick to this, if it looks a little different, especially with the white, is to go back with a little piece of craft paper, wad it up, or like lunch bag paper or something like that. And it's the finest of sandpaper, and just sand it back where you did those bridges sometimes. And it really kind of blends it in. That's what I use. So you just kind of do that, and it just fills those bridges in. It makes it look less stenciled. So I'm just going to do that heart just to give you a little demo. I'll go back and fill all my letters in later. I just don't want to do that right now because we did the personalization and that took a while. So this is dry, so I'm just going to simply erase my chalk line. And it comes right off. But like I said, when you're using this chalk pencil, if that's what you're using, you can use tape. I have used tape, but I have found with tape, sometimes when I pull the tape up, especially with stain, it pulls some of the stain up with it. So I have found that problem. So we have the Season with Love. We did some personalization, and we're going to put our handles on. So this is the Doyle family. And like I said, if you wanted to, you could also add established whatever year, like they were established 2009, and that would be really pretty. You also want to, I didn't bring mine out, and you should let it set a little bit, but I have some Fusion Mineral Beeswax. You want to put something food safe on this. In case they do use it, they could double it as a charcuterie board. That's how you say it. So this is why I waited until the end. And like I said, I did not. These are 1x4s. They're cut 22 inches long. I wanted to put them on afterwards because the stencil would not sit right. So I want to get my tape measure, and I want to make sure they're about the same. So that's like 1 3/4 roughly. And, ooh, that's a lot. That's why you want to measure to make sure it's about the same. So that's 1 3/4. And that's 1 3/4. And measure up here too, to make sure like at both ends you're not kicked in. Like this is 1 3/4. This needs to come out a bit. Perfect. And if you measure at both ends, if that makes sense, like if you measure, I realize this isn't in the camera, so no, this end here. So if you measure like at the top and the bottom, you know, you can visually eyeball it, but you want to get the same measurement at both ends. And that way you can make sure. See, I think I moved it. No, that's perfect. Okay, so what I use, you could definitely use wood glue if you wanted, but I have a Ryobi nail gun, and they have, I think they're 1.5 inch nails in them. It's a brad nailer. 1 1/4 inch. My husband just walked in with groceries. He's like, 1 1/4. And all you got to do, and these go so far in, and they make such a little hole, you don't even really see it. And I'm just going to nail it. But like I said, whoop, you could glue it too. Whoop. Now, one time I did this on a live and I nailed my whole piece to my board. Let's see. Move this way. This is so large. I'm sorry, friends. And that works really good. And then if you have any little white places, like where the nail gun went in, you could take your stain and you could touch it back up. So what do you think, girls? And it's got the handles on it. I got these at Home Depot. They were like $1 something a piece. They weren't very expensive, but that would make a really lovely gift for anybody. And you don't have to do the personalization. I just wanted to show you kind of how you could personalize it. And if you're joining late, thank you, Carol. Thank you, Rhonda. Thank you, Cindy. This was 4 1x4s, cut 29.5 inches long. Or, what did I say? 1x4. See, don't listen to me. Okay, these were 4 1x6s, and they were cut 29.5 inches. And then these are 1x4s that were cut 22 inches. So sorry about that. I was giving you the wrong. So the bottom's 1x6s, the top is 1x4. Yeah, these are the ones I buy. They're really inexpensive at Home Depot. They're sturdy, and they look good with the rustic stuff. So you would want to put something that's food safe on this. And I'll take a picture. I'm going to fill in the bridges, and I'll take a picture later to show you it on my stove. But I did want to show you. Now, again, this one is on sale. This is number, let me get my thing, number 6425, and this is the large. And it's on sale today and tomorrow for 20% off.
I didn't get that. Could you try again?
Uh-oh. She's being kind of mouthy there. So it'll be on sale today and tomorrow for 20% off, and my code sign check, you save 15%. If you haven't sprinkled, I would appreciate that. And I just wanted to show you a couple new stencils that I got last week. And I did, so a couple ideas, kitchen-y, like for gifts and stuff like that. So I made this about a month ago or so. And this is, okay, so this is not, it's not farmhouse, it's not kitchen-y. But I got this, this cutting board at Walmart. I think they're under $5. I used the Valspar antiquing glaze, and then I made this today to go with it. This is a gift for we have a rental, and we have some tenants that are really, really sweet, and he loves to hunt. And so you could do something like that as well for a kitchen gift. So you could do a towel, and you could do it like a matching cutting board or something like that. I think that's really cute. This is one of those instances where I have the stencil in 2 different sizes, because Number one, I love the deer head, and I'm going to make another cutting board, and it's larger, and I wanted the larger size. But you can use so many elements from either one of these. And I think there's a third size even in this. So I got these, one of my friends sent them, and they're from Ben Franklin. But you can get these flour sack towels on Amazon all day long. We kind of did a swap. She wanted something of mine, and I wanted her towels. I can't get them. I don't have a Ben Franklin, but they were really lovely towels. So that's another option. You could do any of those with this. And then these are the new stencils. I hope I got them. Yes, I did. Okay. So I ordered these last week and I got them. I don't know if any of you girls, like April has the best sense of humor. She releases the funniest ones. But these are some of the new ones I got last week. They just crack me up. And she has one that's about squirrels too. And then this one, you know, as far as kitchen-y goes. And this one, I've had this saying right here, I've had a magnet of that for years. I bought it when my kids were teenagers. You got those too, Paula? So I did a couple of, and what I did was I made these for myself. And I just did mine double-sided because I like to switch mine around. You know, if you're feeling this way, you can hang that. If you're feeling that way, I may give this one to my daughter because she's at that stage. She's got a 3-year-old, a 7-year-old, and a 13-year-old. So those are some, yeah, these are really cute on the towels. They're just adorable. They're so, so cute. And you could even do, I didn't do it. I kept it simple black and white, but you could do the little rooster. I think that's the rooster comb or something. You could do that in red, and the little beak and legs and like a yellow or some kind of like gold. But there's so many kitchen options, and please check out the other kitchen options. She just made a bunch new ones. They are not on sale, but you can always get the 15% off with my code SignShack. And I appreciate everyone joining us so much. I'll see you next Thursday. Oh, excuse me, my voice is getting hoarse again. I know I probably talk too much during these lives, and I'm sorry about that. You're going to have to place the order. I know, I just get my order, and what April does is then she adds a whole bunch more. And I'm like, oh my gosh, now I got to place another order. I just keep adding things to my basket, and I keep it in there. And and she sent me a couple of the designs that she's working on. She'll be releasing, I think, I may be speaking out of turn. Oh, thank you, April. That's so sweet. Thank you, Sherry. But some library ones and book ones, and I am an avid reader. And I just Tuesday or Thursday. It'll be Tuesday next week, Donna. Same thing, Tuesday at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for me. I don't know what time zone everybody is in. But, yeah, some beautiful library ones that I'm super excited about for next week. I think it's next week we're doing that. We spoke briefly, but they're really cute. You're going to love them when you see them. So you guys take care. Have a great week. And enjoy your weather wherever you are. It's nice here. I mean, as nice as it's going to get for February in Ohio. And take care. Bye-bye.